Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday, May 26th. Oh my gosh, the month is almost over. Can you believe it? And of course, I have to end the month on a good note. I mean, not so much of a good note, but with someone really great in regards to a special guest with us this evening. But alongside me, I have two co-hosts, Mr. Eyeliner. Zach, Mr.
Hello.
Eyeliner.
Hello. If you
Hey,
can't
I
see
know
it, it's on the head, MrEyeliner.
Mr. Eyeliner, yes.
Yeah.
And if you guys aren't familiar with him, you need to get familiar with him. He's also been a guest on my show, and we have some things going on. But the night is the Bully Exposed. We have Mr. Richard Santiago with us tonight. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for your interest. And I definitely love what you have going on. I'm sure it's a huge inspiration for those that deal with it. And I just want to get into, and you two are definitely great to be on this platform together because you both represent pretty much the same thing in regards to no bullying in the workplace.
Yeah.
And I love what you both represent, and that you take it to the workplace because bullying can happen at the workplace. And let's take that assumption that it only happens at school or that it doesn't happen at home. It can, but it does happen at the workplace. And I definitely want to discuss that with you guys. And of course, Mr. Director here, what you have going on. I know you have a film out, not just one, but you've done previous films. I want to go into the Bully Exposed. Are we out exposing bullies?
I hope we are. Yeah, we just, sometime last year, we launched a film called Dear Bully. It's about a registered nurse that lives in Boston who, I won't give too much of it away, who was bullied and unfortunately did the most ultimate worst thing you can do when you're being bullied. It is up on Vimeo.com, Vimeo.com/on-demand/Dear Bully. You can rent it or you can just purchase it outright. And I want to say this, and I'm going to say this throughout the show because I know some people need to hear things more than once. I've noticed 100% of the proceeds goes to thebullyexposed.com. I am the director of thebullyexposed.com, but I don't take a salary. That is all volunteer work because I think that's just the way it should be, So let me tell you a funny story I have a show called Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago, that I do on Instagram. And it all came to be by accident, It was Christmas Eve. I was on vacation, and I said, "Well, let me do a live feed and say Merry Christmas to everyone out there, and that if you're being bullied, things are going to get better, and kind of give inspiration." And the minute I got on, I got questions from kids and from parents. Child is being bullied, or I'm being bullied. What can I do? So, I answered it as honestly as I possibly could based on my knowledge. And I've been doing this for like at least 12, 13 years now, since about 2006, somewhere around there, 2005, 2006, where I've been really interviewing people, trying to get the story as to why this is allowed to occur. And so that's currently where I'm at with that.
Yeah, we need to know why it occurs.
And that's something like I got to tell you, like that's something that I'm going to say it now. It's an honor that the three of us are doing this. And what I want to say, the honor is not trying to degrade that word honor, is the fact that we're living in this epidemic, this stay at home, be positive time, is the big question. Everybody's trying to be this positive way where, oh, we care about these issues. What about right before this whole thing happened, the kids who the week before the schools closed, the people at work that were feeling this way, where they were being bullied, they couldn't talk to a manager, or HR avoided them, or they didn't acknowledge them. Then now they're home, and some of these people can't talk to people still. They're by themselves, living in a studio apartment, this and that. And then you see in the news every day, domestic violence gone up, suicide rates gone up. Not just in New York City where I live and where Taji lives, but different places, Chicago, LA, San Francisco, everywhere you're looking, these things go up. But people do not ever see bullying as an actual thing. Let's give money to the rainforest. Let's give money to this vegan association. But bullying is the same thing as what once was racism. What is prejudice? Bullying is a combination of racism, prejudice, and just social standards. Like people oh, you don't make enough money, so social slandering. And you combine all them biggest hatred together in a little package. That's what we're seeing now. But the reason why this will keep going is because it's not my problem. I don't have kids. I don't have a niece. I don't have a nephew. I've never been through this. And what I like to say in all my interviews, and every time I go to a panel, and I know I have a company, but I take the company aspect out 100%. I say that in 5 minutes. I introduce my company, this is who I am, blah, blah, blah. But I go into this. This panel is about me educating on bullying in this industry. And a lot of times, we have a lot of industries that we're all in where no one sees that. But then you go on TV and you watch the news is like a horror show. Instead of going to a horror movie, watch the news half the time. And these stories about okay, the kid came to the school and shot these 5 kids because he was picked on on this. They never, and then the principal and the teachers, not my fault, and not my fault. But then you hear a lot of the times the teacher said, tell your parents, I'll handle it, and this and that.
And it doesn't get handled.
Okay, I'll and in the work, many of us have been in a scenario, okay, HR will handle this, we'll write up this report, and 3 weeks later it happens again, and you end up losing your job, or you feel so uncomfortable with your job that as much as you loved it, the people who are running it, you had to walk away from them because it was making you this person you didn't want to be. And that's what bullying does. And
it does a lot.
What you do, same way that you came into it.
And I think you touched on it. Oh, sorry. And you touch on it in your film, right, Richard?
We showed on the film that that he has his proof. He recorded what was going on. So, and we do touch on it, the way it makes families feel, the way it makes people feel. You bully this one person, you're bullying that whole family pretty much, because they all
because it's a circle. It's a cycle. It's going to keep going and going and going. And Richard, I like to say this now to you, man. Like whenever I can see you and we can do this virally with Taji, I would love to do like a viral documentary with you. And I can have a bunch of cases. I can have them send me videos and tell their stories and sign contracts and say it's okay to do that. Nice. There's so many models, makeup artists, hairstylists, tattoo artists in New York City who are afraid. And I'll tell you, a guy you see, 6'1", giant beast, man, that guy can break down with his story in a second,
I wanted to touch on what you said about bullying being racist, about racism. I said that on a radio show that I was on about a year ago, and one of the callers said I was nuts, and you touched on it, and you're right. You can't say to someone, let's just say we're the 3 of us here all work together, physically work together rather than online. I can't say I don't want to hire Taji because she's a woman. I can't say that. So what do I say now? I start to bully the person. I just say, well, I just don't like them for them. And that's how you're able to get away with the bullying. That's my opinion on that. As far as why it continues to go on, I think it's because a lot of these companies actually really do think that if you have someone in fear of their jobs, they will work better. And that's not true. That is not true at all.
Yeah, you're right.
Being in fear is not a good sign for you to work harder.
Right. Especially in our field. Our field, we have to be creative. Me making films, Taji doing hosting, you doing your makeup. We have to be free to express ourselves, and we have to be comfortable where we're at. Otherwise, we can't create. At least I know I can't.
But you're right. As a creator that you are, and Taji is, and what I am, our number one thing that we always have to be with anybody is the
Mhm.
word honest. If we have
Right.
clients or we work with people, it's honesty first. It's
Hmm.
connection. It's why would you want to work with me if I'm blowing smoke up your area? Like, why would you want to work with her if she's telling you what you want to hear, but it's really not what she means? Or you tell me something, and oh, you make me feel better, but you really are not telling me I can do better at this. I welcome criticism. I welcome like that feedback. If you're not,
Right.
at the end of the day, people hold their feelings back. Oh, because
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. But then
Um,
the thing I say in bullying is the way it gets away with in our industry, not in our industry, our culture is excuse, excuse, excuse. The higher above, the school systems, the workplace systems, they will make any excuse possible for us to think that we're wrong about
yeah.
we're being bullied.
I do think also, not trying to excuse it, because I try to look at different points of views with pretty much everything, right? I just feel like it continues to happen as well because it was never addressed.
Right.
People are afraid to address it, and they think it's okay, or sometimes they've been like that pretty much all their life and no one addressed it. Or maybe it was like, their tone of voice was nothing, so it's not that serious,
But
and
we have to, not to cut you off, but we have to change the culture in our society, because yes, you're right. There are a lot of people that they won't talk about it. But if you really interview and ask them why don't you want to talk about it, it's because they either saw someone else or they did talk about it at one time and lost their job. So we have to create
right,
a culture where I can say, hey, or to use the example I said before, you can say, Taji, that, hey, Richard doesn't want to, he straight out said he doesn't want to work with me because I'm a woman. That's the protective act. You need to do something. That company as a whole needs to either pull me, you don't have to get fired for making a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake. But
right, right,
pull me
Yeah.
to the side and say, hey, Richard, we're not going to accept that. She has the right to work just like you have the right to work, just like everyone else has the right. So if you have a problem with her being a woman, you need to fix that on your own.
right,
But that's not what companies do, because I don't know why. Maybe more people have that point
No,
of view. I don't
because
know.
they bullying to companies, from my experiences, and I think you guys can even agree with me on this. It's not a problem. It's like, shut up. Like, sexual harassment is something they go over in HR, and they have this thing, right? Sexual harassment and this, but bullying, it's like a joke to people, because who's getting bullied? Nobody takes it serious because they don't. If they ignore it, or if they haven't seen it themselves, or it has nothing to do with them, it's passing the buck. And if they keep passing the buck, that's what's going to happen, and nothing will change. And that's why I think if you can instill in a business a
right,
policy with the human resources where you're not like, you cannot touch a female or a male employee if you are a manager and you grab someone's behind, you do that. How about it's the same thing when you say, wow, you suck at your job, you should just be fired, your jacket looks ugly, you're fat, like your hair looks stupid, you like, God, I can't wait for you to leave work, I can't stand your face. These kinds of comments,
yeah. It's got to
somebody will
start.
suck in, and they'll go back to work the next day, and they'll go home,
Mhm.
they'll drink, do a drug, probably kill themselves because they don't know who to talk to, and then no one's defending them. That is
Right,
not the. How is that not equal to someone like disrespecting you by touching a part of your body?
right. I
Right.
mean, I completely get it, but then it's just like, when does it start to be like, okay, we need to do something about this, and not just let it happen? Like, have
But
you came across going to people's workplaces and knowing that they stopped allowing that to happen? I
no,
mean,
like I'll say, like,
uh,
again, you know how you guys know I created the policy, right? And when
mhm,
I came up with this policy, it's a no bullying in the workplace policy. I started at a makeup summit where
right,
several makeup studios started enforcing this in their studios. I then reached out to barbers with the barber community in New York City. They do BarberCon. They do BarberCon in LA. I reached out to Lee from BarberCon. He's interested in posting in shops. And then I talked to barbers. I talked to hairstylists. And that's where I'm going to start. I talk to students. I talk to schools. Schools, what I talk to, and this is, I'm going to tell us the world right here.
right,
Schools are like, well, they put me through channels that will take me months to 6 months to a year to get myself in a meeting to actually enforce this in a a situation where I can put this in a certain school or that. And then when it comes to government, I've been to several Queens Council meetings trying to attempt to get something done. But then Corona started. This, again, if I have the support of bully exposed, it's tough to get these things out there, but it should be out there. It's tough to make a difference.
Right.
If you don't keep going.
What about your perspective with things on this, Rich? Has it been pretty much the same way for you, or?
From interviewing people for my films, I've noticed that the culture in the workplace in America, and I'm learning that it's throughout. I've talked to people in Japan, Australia, and the UK, is that people work better when they're in fear of their jobs. And that's the culture that we need to change. And so we need to create a place where someone can come and say, this is what's happened to me, and that person's not vilified for doing that. Because the powers that be, whether it be the CEO, wants to keep that culture there. For me, I'll tell you this, I worked with the United States Postal Service. That's where I was bullied.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And I interviewed lots of teachers, I interviewed lots of supervisors in that workplace. And they have literally said that we have meetings and we are trained on how to bully people. This is the United States Postal Service. Then again, I interviewed many people from Verizon as well. And they say the same thing. The managers are inspired. They have meetings, rather than having meetings of how to make telecommunication better. They're having meetings on how to make mail run smoother. They're having meetings on how to bully people. Now, I will say, a disclaimer that those supervisors never went on record saying that, so we got to take that with a grain of salt. But I'm tired of people saying that they're just making it up. People are not just gonna come out and a group of people. One person might say, hey, I worked with Taji and she's a horrible person to work with, or I worked with Richard and he's the worst.
We're gonna get that.
One or two people, yes, would say that. But when you got a group of people that don't know each other from different parts, when you got big companies like the United States Postal Service and Verizon, and you got someone in New York and in New Jersey and then in Boston and then, California, there's no way they all got together to say.
Right.
No, it's not like they had a conference call and, okay, here's the script.
Right. They weren't on Zoom. They weren't on Zoom like and trying to figure this all out, No, so those people need to be protected.
Right.
We have this Whistleblower Act, which is just, I can't think of a kind word, but so I'll keep going, moving on. It's a laugh, but we need to start when these people come out. Don't take them for their word. Of course, do your investigation, do your due diligence, investigate, figure it out. Wow, here's someone from California, here's someone from New York, here's someone from this place, all saying the same thing. That and give an opportunity, but most importantly, give an opportunity to those supervisors who want to come forward, because there are so many. I have spoke to supervisors from many companies who are actually seeking professional mental health because they have to deal with that. They either have to bully or they don't, so now they're bullied by their supervisor so they can bully their employee. And these are people high up in these companies, but they know it's suicide. It is suicide if they come out and say, Verizon's doing this or this company.
Yeah, because you become like, even though you don't want to do that, you're like the middle manager. You're told to do that or your job's gone. You have a family to feed. You got bills to pay.
Right.
You do it. You're not a monster, but what happens is you literally become a monster.
Right.
It's crazy. So I wanna get to so clearly, all of this happening, and you mentioned how you was also, bullied working at the Postal Service. What made you say, hey, I want to do a film about exposing bullies in the workplace? Was it because you had friends that were going through situations and you said, you know what, this needs to be put out there, of course, to spread awareness more about it? What made you say, you know what, I want to do a film about this?
I'll tell you what it was. I was speaking with a very high up supervisor, not interviewing, not in the capacity of a journalist, not in the capacity of a filmmaker. I was just an employee dealing with it. And I'm talking about the bullying that's occurring at the station that I worked at. And he turned around and he said, prove it. Prove it. No one's gonna believe you about what's going on, because I'm the boss and no one's gonna believe you about what's going on. And that's what made me say, okay, prove it, fine, I will. And I recorded, and that is when I started to record what went on in the bullying, and I got vilified. So just for your listeners out there, I'm talking about being vilified, and I know a lot of people have said, are probably saying, because I hear it, well, he doesn't know what it's like to be bullied, vilified. He's talking vilifying, but he doesn't know. I do know. I got called crazy because I'm doing it. I'm a journalist. I went to school for it. I will agree that when it comes to journalism, I didn't get a degree in journalism because that's not what I wanted. But some of the things that I was doing said, hey, you have to take these classes in order. And I'm like, oh, journalism, that sounds interesting. I'll take that. So I took journalism. So I understand journalism. I understand the basics, journalism 101. And even if I didn't, I think anyone that records when they see injustice is a journalist. They might be a street journalist, but they're a journalist. And I think it's their right. And it's a shame that we have some countries, I've talked to some people, we have some states in the United States where you can't record without someone's knowledge. And I think every state should be that way. I think every state. And
unfortunately, that's not how. I don't see that changing anytime soon with the way this world goes. It's sad.
I think it's a little bit there. Not to disagree with that. I think it's a little bit there. People are recording in states where you're allowed to record. And
some people are just so afraid to do that, though. They're just frightened to record something. They see like INS come and pick up someone from a house. I think LA, New York, big cities like ours, we're not afraid. But you go to like a smaller city, and I've traveled with people, and I've seen smaller states where it's like people are scared crapless to actually do anything that might get them into a spot where, I don't want to go there. But in certain states, people are afraid for certain reasons they should be afraid to be afraid of.
Right.
Right. And I think it's because we don't protect them when people come forward.
I agree.
Yes.
Right. That's sad. That's sad.
And if it comes
I want to ask you, Richard.
Yes.
I want to ask you real quick. How much hatred or bullying did you get when you started doing your thing? I want to tell you from my experience, when I started becoming the anti-bullying guy about 5 years ago, and I started going to schools, the first wave of bullying I got was from fathers. When I talked to the kids, and the fathers be like, the son is a man. He has to fight for himself. And then I started getting criticism from people who were like, he's a boy, he doesn't need that, he shouldn't wear makeup, he shouldn't do this. And my stance was, I go on a panel at school or an auditorium, I'll have this on. I'll be this. I'm Zach. This is me. I'll be me. And I tell everybody, be yourself. Yourself is beautiful. Don't care what you're about, what your sexuality is, what your skin color is, what your religion is. Just be you. And for me, my sign of like bullying I first got, or like people going against me, were parents or then people who just said, this is not important in our industry. Don't bother talking about this in the industry. So I want to ask you, when you became this person, you were strong and brave to do these movies and these documentaries, and you were amazing to show the world something new. Did you get any like negative feedback? Did you get any kicks in the mouth,
Yeah, I got tons of negative feedback. And the thing that really bothered me the most, that really woke me up to, is the negative feedback I got from people who are living it every day. In other words, what I'm saying is, So I worked in the post office. I got a lot of stuff from postal workers that were like you shouldn't be doing this. It's like, it's like when you have a family and if the husband is beating the wife and the kid wants to tell, it's like, no, you shouldn't. This has to stay within us. Okay, I wouldn't mind it staying within us if you handled it, but you're not handling it. If you say, yeah, I did a wrong thing, I hit your mom, it's not going to happen again, I'm going to seek help, we're going to seek counseling, blah, 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 then yes, let's keep it with us. Right. But when it's constantly happening, it is in the Postal Service, it's shame on those people that say that I'm the problem, that I'm the problem, that I should have just dealt with it.
What's crazy? I can actually relate to that. I know how it is working in the post office as well. And it would be, what are you doing there? Get over there. Where are you going? Why are you over there and you're not there? Like, it's the, like, excuse me? Like, are you my parent or my supervisor? Like, some supervisors shouldn't even talk to you like that. It's just get over there and grab that cart. Grab that postcard and bring it over there. And you're like, okay, like a bit demanding here, like, and it's different, it's different in the aspect of, oh, why are you putting that there? That's not where it goes. You're a junior. You're supposed to do that. I'm your senior. You're supposed to do that, not me. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. That's your job. And it's like, excuse me, like, let the supervisor tell me that, but that's not a way of doing it. Or, doing something embarrassing where everyone's name was up on the board and you're like, hey, where's Taji? Oh, she's late again, in front of everybody. Or, hey, why are you wearing sweatpants and not jeans? That's not acceptable.
See, Taji, I want to say that's unfortunately a practice that is followed to put us in line in a pecking order in our world. It's a pecking order thing that these small, if you even work in a fast food place, if you work at a Key Food or a Stop and Shop, in the back room, and I've seen this as I worked in these places, you see that same thing, guys. You see like, Jamel's late to work. Oh, Zach's 5 minutes late to work. Why is Zach wearing jeans with a rip in them? Why does he have a tattoo on his hand today? They'll make it known because it's this pecking order that they're trained to do to try to reinforce you to do better, but all it does is make you degraded, and at the same time try to keep your head down and not come in and be different, not wear a band t-shirt, not wear a rapper's t-shirt, not wear anything cool around your neck, just come in there and look basic so you don't get anybody's attention and try to be under the radar.
Right. I'll tell you a real life situation that happened with me. So you said you worked for the Postal Service?
I did. I used 2 years ago.
Okay. So you probably understand a little bit of the atmosphere in there, and I'll try to explain it as quickly as I can for you viewers. So when a postal carrier, the person that gives you your mail, when he sets up his route, he is with the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement. He is allowed to say whether he wants to work as a 12-hour carrier or an 8-hour carrier or a 10-hour carrier. Okay, so let's just say we have a carrier, he only wants to work 8 hours and go home. That's all he wants to do. He doesn't need extra time. So he'll do his route. If his route is longer than 8 hours, and let's just say, to keep things simple, his route is an hour long. So it's going to take him 9 hours to do his route, but he's only an 8-hour carrier. So that hour goes to someone who wants to work overtime. And I've been in both situations throughout my 12 years with the Postal Service. So now that piece of mail gets put to the 8-hour carrier. So now I've seen situations where the Postal Service will either make that guy carry the 8 hours, and there's a situation, the Postal Service is a lot like the military. If you're given an order, you do the order, and then you grieve it later. which is something that should really change. Unless it's something that puts you in harm's way, then you can say, nope, that's dangerous. I'm not doing that. And you shouldn't be touched. But there are situations where people are touched. But anyway, so they'll either force that carrier to work that 8 hours, or they'll give it to a carrier that says, I know I'm normally a 12-hour carrier, but today I got to pick up my daughter or something. I got something going on. I can't work the 8 hours. They'll give that carrier the work. And then they'll say, oh, you can thank your buddy Richard because he says that he can't do this route in 8 hours.
True.
Clearly,
that's so true. That's so true.
What that does is that creates an animosity between them, and that's what they want. Just like the government, they want people of certain stature fighting each other rather than coming together and saying, hey, this is wrong. So I do want to say this. I want to touch up on that. So let's just say they said to the carrier, you have to carry the route, go out and do it. Now he worked 8 hours. Now what he can do is grieve that. He puts in a grievance that I'm an 8-hour carrier and I work an hour overtime. So he'll grieve it. And what happens is, and the public doesn't notice, and I think they should really know, so I hope your listeners share this interview. What happens is when he grieves that, it goes into the grieving process, and then what happens is that carrier can be paid for working overtime. So now he worked overtime, and now he's making a little extra money for being, for working overtime when he's not an overtime worker. Now, and then again, there's more. The carrier who didn't receive, everyone follow me? Who didn't receive. So there was a carrier who went home early, let's say, because there was no work. But they gave that, he could have worked an hour overtime. Everybody follow me? He could have worked that guy's overtime. Yeah. So he gets money. I can tell you right now that I interviewed carriers, and I've seen it in working in the industry. I've seen carriers who make so much money from that they pay their rent, and they have $2,000 mortgages. I'm sorry, not rent, mortgages. Got $2,000. They live in this great place in the best part of town because they're making good money, and their rent is strictly paid by these violations. So if the post office followed their own rules, then we wouldn't be in a situation there, this is my opinion, I got to put that out there, my lawyers, this is my opinion, the post office is not in any dire straits. Yes, the letters have went down, but the packages have went up. More people are buying things. They don't even go shop.
No, I agree. One of my partner, Chad,
before you go, I know we want to continue this, but we got to take a 5-minute break real quick and tap right back into this. We got to keep them, we'll be back in 5 minutes. I know it's getting super juicy right now, y'all. I promise we'll be right back. We'll be right back. So yes, we're going to take a break on Live with Taji. We're here with Zach, Mr. Eyeliner, and the bully exposed by the one and only Richard Santiago.
Richard.
I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source. I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source. Cause who else? I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source. You're looking for that heat. I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source. Well, of course. I'm the Nubian queen, show respect to the crown. Soon as you start to float, they try to pull you back down. I done planted the seed, and soon I sprout from the ground. Come and check on my leaves, forever reppin' my town. Always moving forward, never in reversal. The time is always now, life has no rehearsal. Been the main event, while the others is commercial. Sitting high up on these hills, singing blue and yellow purple. You know how it is, won't always be hunky-dory. Should be nice now, but later one different story. They say to pick a lane like choose a category, but my style too big to fit in one aisle. Shorty going $140 on the freeway. Eyes up on the prize, don't care about what he or she say. When I bump this track, they gon' react like with a replay. Play this in the winter and they'll ask who causing heat waves, and I'll say I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source. I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source. Cause who else? I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source. You're looking for that heat. I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source. Well, of course. I'm the one when you're alone you should be looking out for. Rolling with the pack of stacks, refer to me as alpha. They talk a lot and busting shots, but I'm quick to counter. They say they better, but I know they ain't got the ounce of potential on the instrumental. Steady working on my muscle, flexing up my mental. Dare to challenge me and you'll indeed require dental. Spreading toxins when they need to be environmental. Yes, yes it is, who the f*** you think it is? My flow is ridiculous, eat it up like licorice. Burst up in this motherfucker, show you what the business is. Is it the or is it live? Can't tell what the difference is, yeah.
Sources are saying,
yeah.
Siren. Siren?
Yeah. 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 I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source. I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source. Cause who else? I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source. You're looking for that heat. I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source, I'm the source. Well, of course, I'm the S-A-B.
Richard Santiago from the Bully Exposed. Thank you for tonight on this Tuesday, the last Tuesday in May. Oh my gosh. So thank you so much. Let's expose these bullies. And I know we had like a prior conversation in regards to an example on where you worked at previously and how it hit home with bullying. So you actually know what it's like. So I appreciate you sharing that story with us, and you, Zach, as well, with your stories and everything. But I know you had some things that you wanted to say. You have any shout outs you want to give? I mean, you come back with us with the crown on. I mean, where's my crown? Can we do the don't rush challenge and pass crowns to each other?
He's got the crown. We got crowns. Where's your crown, Taji?
Oh yeah, you know what? I do have a crown. You see it? You see it?
There you go.
It's a symbol that, we can all do this. A lot of kids on my show, like I said, I have a show that I do on Instagram called Live Feed with your host, Richard Santiago. I've had people I want to give a shout out. I've had UFC fighter Brandon Con Copeland on. I've had former WWE wrestler Little Boogeyman, Chris Hollyfield on. I had Christina Wells, America's Got Talent semifinalist on. And on the 30th, I'm going to have recording artist Kelly Morgan. She has opened up for people like T.I., Ashante, Ja Rule, and many others. So May 30th, Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will do that show right on Instagram. So you just come to our Instagram and just jump in right in on the feed. But I wear the crown on the show because it is a symbol. Because a lot of kids say, I could never do that. I could never stand up to my bully. So I use the crown as a way to tell kids that you can do this too. Not just me, not just Zach, not just Taji. We all can do this. If we work hard, learn the craft of whatever it is we want to get into, whether it's hosting a show or it's creating films or makeup, it doesn't matter. If we work hard at it, we can do it as well. And the symbol, and I always end my show with, anyone can wear the crown and anyone can be a hero. So go out there, learn your craft, and be a hero. I also want to mention one person. Let me also say that the show is hosted by travelingtechteacher.com, bullyexposed.com. And like I said before, 100% of any of the donations, if you watch our film or if you buy yourself one of these great Be Kind t-shirts, 100% of the proceeds goes to the bullyexposed.com. I don't take any money from it. It's my way of volunteering. It's my way of giving back to my community. So you can also, if you have the Cash App, you can donate by going to $, the Bully Exposed, and the number 2, $, and the Bully Exposed, number 2, or you can go on the internet to cash that app /$, thebullyexposed.com too. And I want to mention one person. There is a person, Cheryl Ann Arojo. Okay.
Say that name one more time. The volume went a little bit lower.
Sure, no problem. Shelly Ann Arojo. You know her. I'm going to tell you guys right now. You may not know exactly, but you know her. There was a film called The Accused with Jodie
Yes,
Foster.
Jodie Foster.
Okay?
Yeah, and Kelly McGinnis. It's a great movie.
She was gang raped. I recently saw a film.
I know.
Oh, wow.
A non-fiction film, which is that I like to create. I recently saw a film about her life. And it's really a shame because, one, The Accused film really, people have to understand when you're watching a film based on reality or based on someone's life, Hollywood, I can tell you because I've worked in Hollywood, I've worked behind films, not big films, but I've worked behind films. They're going to paint it a little differently to make it more exciting and more interesting to you. And they unfortunately painted her like a horrible person. She did not say any of the things she said. She, because we're on the topic of people coming in the earlier portion of the show. This is why I'm bringing this up, because we talked about people being vilified, and she was not the person that they said on the film. She just went in there to get a pack of cigarettes and had a few drinks, and then when she tried to leave, she was grabbed by these men and then unfortunately raped. And I want the world to know, because the filmmaker in that film wanted the world to know, and I think it's important. She died 2 years later.
What?
Yeah.
From depression, because people will not just let it go. They continue to vilify her, and this is how racism works. So because the men that did the majority of the raping or the cheering, remember that they also tried to convict. They were unsuccessful, but they tried to convict the people who cheered her, the men who raped her on.
Right.
They were not convicted. But most of the men were of Portuguese descent. So now the society started coming down on the Portuguese society, that they're animals, they don't deserve to be here, and like they always do with immigrants.
Right.
And that forced the people, the Portuguese people of Boston to retaliate as well. And so who can they fight? They're not going to fight the racist people in Boston, so they fight this lonely person. And she moved to Florida, but she was still vilified, and she unfortunately went into depression and drinking. She crashed the vehicle one day. She was driving drunk. She crashed the vehicle and died. 2 years after she took the stand, 3 years after that horrible incident. So vilifying someone, you gotta understand, folks, you viewers out there, your viewers have to understand the impact that you have when you vilify a person for coming forward. The person should not be vilified. Now, if it finds out that the person is not telling the truth, I don't think we should still vilify them. Let's find them. Let's show them that this kind of behavior shouldn't happen. But we should also take, when it does turn out to be true, because 100%, let's say 99.9% of the time, the person's telling the truth. That person should be vilified and held accountable. But the wrong person always is, unfortunately. That's my little thing that I just had to.
I'm very appreciative that you brought that up, and I know that story very well. I didn't really want to touch that, but thank you for doing that. I remember that story because it was a movie I watched very young, and I read a lot about her. And the reason Jodie Foster was an amazing human being as an actress, she felt very much like she didn't portray it with justice, and she said that in many interviews. And that Hollywood, sometimes you can have the best director in the world. I worked in that business as well, best writer. When it comes to production, when it comes to release time, things get left out, people get blamed and vilified, and it's not the right stuff. It's how the industry worked in 1980 something. Right now, if you're an independent filmmaker, Like you're an independent filmmaker. I actually write screenplays. I've been doing it my whole life. Yeah, when you're an independent filmmaker, you can do it and get justice because you can make what you want, make the, get the investors you want, like charge your credit cards, make the film you actually want to do. Don't give a crap about the studios, and you could tell someone's story. And when you're telling someone else's story, it's not your story. You need to tell it. So you portray them with the soul that they are, and you're giving them justice and you're giving them that respect.
Right. So I want to ask, right? I know you have a film called The Bully Exposed, right? Do you cater in regards to filming, right? Do you cater to those, like, do you stick in the lane of bullying? Or, because, I'm sure everyone would want to know as a director, and I know you have The Bully Exposed, which of course they need to be exposed. But do you direct in different avenues as well when directing, or?
Okay. So let me say this first. TheBullyExposed.com is the nonprofit that I work with. I also work with other nonprofits, and I want to give a shout out to Air Force Sergeants Association, Chapter 5060. They're a nonprofit that I make films for a lot. So I will make films that don't have anything to do with bullying. And then on my personal, I'm also a freelancer. So I do weddings. I have done weddings. I have done commercials and stuff like that. But for The Bully Exposed, yes, it has been films about bullying, films about injustice, and yes, so the film is not called The Bully Exposed.com. The Bully Exposed. The BullyExposed.com is the nonprofit, but the films have been. I made a film about disabled people who were being bullied, and that one's called "Bullying Is No Laughing Matter," because these three kids use comedy to deal with their bullying as their outlet to deal with bullying. I've made a film about these two women which I won an award for. I've won an award from the Nevada Women's Film Festival about these two women who were bullied. And the reason why I won it, because it was very unique. So the women didn't want to come forward. I was new. I was still in school. I was new. And I didn't think, right now, if I want to interview somebody, I won't interview somebody unless they sign a release form. But back then I didn't. And I interviewed these women, and their stories were so compelling that what I did was I got actresses to say the things that they were saying. And I think that's what made me win that award, because I was thinking out of the box, and I felt like these women's stories need to be told. And so you can see these films on our Vimeo account, The Bully Exposed in Vimeo, and you can rent them for very low amount. And like I said, 100% of the proceeds goes to the BullyExposed.com. But yeah, the film is not called The Bully Exposed. The film is called, that I'm working on about my life, is called When Bullies Become Bosses, is the name of that film. And I'm also working on a film with former wrestler Little Boogeyman about the bullying that people with dwarfism or people of short stature have to deal with. Because it's really amazing to me. We hope to get the funding for it so we can do it right and really fly all over Australia and tell people in their stories, because Quaylen Bailey's lives there, so we're hoping to go out there and get the atmosphere of bullying in Australia, which I find is a lot like the U.S. But those are the names of that film.
Yes. And I'm glad you clarified that. I'm glad you clarified that, because people will assume, okay, this got to be the name of that because this is associated with this. No. Let's get it right. So that
we want people to find the right titles.
Specifically for a reason, so people know. I like to ask questions that people are afraid to ask. As they say, stupid question. I don't believe in a stupid question. So there you go. I asked the question for you guys.
Nope, there's no such thing. No such thing as a stupid question. That's for sure.
There isn't. Nope.
But yeah, so you know, we want to make a change, and I think the best way to start is to tell people stories so people know, you know, when I called that person fat, wow, that really had an impact, you know.
Yeah.
When I interviewed Christina Wells, she said that she used to have a teacher that used to call her Elsa the clown. And it's like, you really, you don't think you're a teacher, and you don't think that the impact that would have on a young little girl.
Wow. That's sad. But
No,
do
it's
you
been
see
around.
this?
It's been
I
around
see this
forever.
becoming bigger. Like this needs to be big in a huge documentary actually out in theaters.
Right.
Yeah, and I
That's
think with the powers of all three of us and more people who are like-minded like us, just starting here should be the first stage of many that we can do this together, because we're all doing it in all collective worlds, you know?
Yeah.
One thing I do want to mention, because I know New Yorkers are a set way. You know, they'll hold to someone that's from New York. I do want to let you guys know I was born and raised in New York City, Mount Sinai Hospital.
I can't hear it in your voice. I can't
No,
hear that you're from the Bronx in your voice.
I was born at the
I
hospital
can't hear
too.
that you're from the Bronx. Come on,
yeah,
you sound like every Bronx boy I know. Come on.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Because well, I've been out in New York a very long time. You know, as we
You never lose New York.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because it's funny, because like I said, off camera, I don't no longer live in New York. I no longer live in the United States as well. And when I go back to New York, a lot of my friends say, "Oh, you lost the voice." Or people, when I talk to people, they're like, and I tell them from New York, they're like, I can't tell that. I really, you're from New York? I didn't.
Bro, just the way you even told your stories today in this interview, you are born in New York. You are true-hearted. I will say what I want to say. You are New York, bro.
Yes.
Don't let anybody say you're not.
Thank you. Oh yeah.
So I know we have a couple minutes.
They're saying that they don't notice, they don't pick up on it, or anything like that.
Okay.
Maybe
Now, I noticed it. I'm sure everybody tuning in is noticing it. But I know we're about to end it here. Oh my gosh, it was so interesting and great talking to you. Thank you so much. I know we gotta end, and it's about to be in a minute. Time goes by fast. So I love how you put the crown on, and yes, we are all powerful beings. Okay, your voice can be heard and should be heard. And I just want to end it by saying thank you guys again for being on Live with Taji and spreading the word. Everybody can hear it, whether through YouTube or on the website. Listen worldwide and just hear that it's not okay. We're out here exposing bullies, and make sure you see Mr. Richard Santiago's film, please.
And viewers, respond to this video and request that we have a series of more videos with Richard, Taji, and me. Keep talking about this. And if you want to do, let's do it. Let's do a series, guys. A series here.
Yes. So is anything you want to say, Richard, before we exit out?
You know, please, like I said, the bully, if you like films like the one we did, Dear Bully, or any other one, it's important that donations, I know a lot of people, this is a hard time to ask people for donations, but donations are what keeps this film going, is what keeps us being connected to superstars, like people like Chris Hollandfield. If you can't donate for whatever reasons, I know there's hard times, go to our Instagram account, or go to the Bully Exposed account and share. Watch our videos that we have put up there and share it. If we say something that really strikes you, share it with 10 of your friends, and not just once, because like I said earlier in the show, sometimes people need to hear or see something more than once before they get, oh wow, I need to get in on that. So constantly share what we're doing. I want to thank those loyal people. I see it on Facebook that every day they'll share our inspirational posts that we put on Instagram. Or they'll share our videos. Every day I see them put one post, and I thank those people. So if you can't help in a monetary way, help by getting the word out, by giving the thumbs up on Facebook, by smashing that heart on Instagram. that will help us to climb, and that will help us for more people to see us and say, what is this guy doing? What are these people doing? Let's help them.
Yes, yes.
So
And please,
remember
everyone,
that we're the crowd.
yes, thank you so much for sharing all of this information with us. Many people need to hear this. And please make sure you follow. Oh my gosh, what is going? Okay. Stop the bullying _together. Okay,
Yes.
and go to thebullyexposed.com. Right? Is there any other platforms that you need to be followed at?
Twitter, we're thebullyexposed.com. Vimeo, which is where you can see our films. We're also thebullyexposed.com. I think that if you do a search that where can I find the Bully Exposed, I think I've done that before to see what comes up. You'll find us. Or the bullyexposed.com will connect you to our Facebook, to our Instagram, all over.
Yes. So thank you, and make sure you also follow MrEyeliner. That's where you find him on Instagram.
And any questions that you ever have about bullying, I'm in Queens, New York. I will go anywhere. I will be on the phone all night long. If you ever want to talk to somebody who understands, please feel the fact I'm here. DM me. Yes. It's always me. I will listen and talk to you. I want to help.
So thank you, guys. You heard it here on Live with Taji, WEMS Radio. You guys are so awesome. Summer is coming.
Thank you, guys.
And please enjoy it. And no bullying.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.